Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode with us. I have with me Hamad Siddiqui, who is a LinkedIn expert, a coach, and an entrepreneur as well. With us, you will be learning more about LinkedIn optimization, how to leverage your LinkedIn as a platform to generate more sales leads, to grow your network, and to attract more viewers and recruiters onto your profile for your job hunt process. So with me, I have Hamad Siddiqui, and I'm so glad to have you, Hamad, with me today. Thank you so much for joining. How are you doing?
Thank you very much, Umar. We are doing well, actually, and despite the heat warning in Toronto and GTA,
Yeah.
I think we're still surviving. Today also it's pretty warm, and you can see, I'm trying to clean my bed at the end, although some breeze is there today. Yesterday was very, very hot,
Yeah.
but yeah, doing great, alhamdulillah.
That's awesome. That's really, really great. I'm so glad to hear that you're doing well. I'm so excited to learn from you today. You're looked at the LinkedIn guru, the LinkedIn expert, and today's session is exactly about that. Today's session is all about LinkedIn and leveraging LinkedIn as a platform to increase our viewership and eyes on our profile, and how to use how to use LinkedIn as a platform to really increase our our activity and our generate more sales lead networking and more chances of getting recruited from recruiters, right? So excited to have you here.
Well, thank you very much. The way I try to put it is, how do you tap into opportunities?
Yeah.
LinkedIn is a platform that is full of opportunities. It's a matter of how do we use it. I mean,
Yeah.
if we are out there and we have a profile and we don't do anything with that, LinkedIn would not help you. So we
Yeah.
have to be we have to be engaging and targeting our target really. The focus is really important. Where do you want
Mm,
to focus? The
where do
result
you
will come only if we start focusing.
Absolutely. And it kind of builds on to all the other things that we spoke about in the earlier webinar sessions, right? We started off, for those viewers who are joining us for the first time, we started off by talking about what are those steps that you need to take to become more successful in your career. The first thing we spoke about was taking that inner deep dive and looking into yourself, looking and understanding what your strengths are, what your weaknesses are, and building that self-awareness piece, right? And
Absolutely.
from that point onwards, we then spoke about how to leverage, once you are a lot more self-aware, how do we build on our networking capabilities, right? How do we become better networkers and start grabbing more virtual coffee chats in the COVID
Yeah.
world? And today we're going to teach you and speak to you and empower you with the tools from a LinkedIn perspective on how you actually use LinkedIn to really empower yourself and get to that point in your career where you are successful. Because at the end of the day, it is all about career success, right? We all
Absolutely.
want to be successful in our careers, in our businesses. And that's why you have myself and Hamad Siddiqui, who is an entrepreneur himself, who is a coach in specially and a specialist coach in LinkedIn and networking himself. So I'm so glad to have you. So Hamad, let's start things off. We have a few
But
viewers now.
1 minute before we go any further,
Tell
we
me.
have 5 people watching already on our live, and
Yeah.
the number grows. As the number grows, I think we'll have more people coming in. What I request from the viewers now is kindly introduce yourself. Just say on in the chat box, where are you from and what is your profession? Just one liner, and we will be happy to introduce you to our viewers here. We'll put your name out and we'll inform that this person is from whichever country or city. One thing, the other thing is at the end of the session we will take questions. So you can start typing your questions now, and we will respond to those specific questions at the end of the session. Last
Right.
15 20 minutes are for your questions specifically,
Right.
so that we respond to your specific questions rather than just talking about it. I mean, Umar and I know because we have been doing it for so long. We know what kind of questions come up, but you never know who puts an interesting questions, even for which we'll have to find out the
Right.
response. So challenge us with your questions, and we'll see how
Challenge.
we move on. So
I
we
love
have
that.
Abrar from Karachi, Pakistan. Hopefully, we have 9 people watching now. Hopefully, other people will introduce themselves. As you introduce yourself, we'll announce your names and your location. So please go ahead and please keep posting your questions so that we respond to your questions, specific questions during the session.
Amazing. I love that. Thank you for that, Hamad. We have Abrar from Karachi. Abrar, would you be able to also let us know a little bit more about your profession, if you don't mind?
Yeah, and as we go on, go along, we'll be able to kind of
Yeah.
introduce yourself, because at the end of the day, it's all about networking, right? You know,
Yes, this is also a great platform, I think, for everybody who's going to be introducing themselves to network with other people who are on our show today. And now I think I see the number have increased to 10 now, which is great, right? We were at 5 a few seconds ago, and now suddenly we are at 10, which is amazing. I love that.
yeah, yeah. So, and our average post at the end of 1 week goes to few thousand people, which is good. Uh, Abrar is a marketing consultant and business advisor, he just said. All right.
Amazing.
Thank you,
Thank
Abrar.
Thank you, Abrar, for sharing that. So, as I think people will start pouring in and start sharing their, start sharing about themselves, you and I, we can also get started.
Sure.
Let's talk about. Oh, there you go. Abrar is also telling us that he's running his own consulting practice. Well, that's amazing. We have an entrepreneur in the house. That's amazing. I love that. So many like-minded people and coming together to learn more. And I think that's the beauty of learning and teaching and doing these webinars together. We all get to share our experiences together. And I'm
Absolutely.
sure, Abrar, thank you so much for participating and engaging with us, because I think at the the more you share with us, the more we can learn from you, and you can also learn from us, because I always believe learning is a two-way street, right? So thank you so much
Absolutely.
for engaging. So, Hamad, while we are at this, let's start talking about LinkedIn, right? How did you tell us a short story of how did you get into this? While we hear more from our viewers, how did you get into the whole becoming a LinkedIn expert? How did you
Right.
become that?
Right. So, I've been a social media practitioner since 2008. We had the Facebook fever at that time, and gradually it converted into Twitter fever and
Hmm.
Instagram fever and Snapchat fever and all that. But LinkedIn somehow had always been sort of, I would think, uh, somebody is asking me how to access the link. So let me just.
You can
Okay.
share with them this particular
Yeah,
link directly on the
yeah, yeah. I
YouTube.
just did.
I'll send it to you.
I just did.
Yeah,
Um,
perfect.
so I kept exploring LinkedIn, and in social media,
Hmm.
people would agree that there is lately in the past 5 6 years a lot of content available on Google, so people can Google specific things. People can look at YouTube videos and
Hmm.
tutorials, but there is no specific guideline to
Yeah.
respond to your questions. So there is no step-by-step consolidated uh, document which you can refer to if you're doing something
Right.
with your profile.
Yeah.
And LinkedIn is the only platform that provides opportunity to professionally uh, network with people within your community or expand your community. Facebook had been the platform for most of the people, but Facebook is now sort of getting stale, I would say, with
Hmm.
much happening, and it's difficult to target, it's difficult to optimize. They are um, pretty much focused on how much money they can make of their Facebook ads and stuff.
Right.
Um, Whereas LinkedIn, of course, is making money, but they have a different model. They will
Yeah.
still allow people to connect. They will still allow people to network, and they will still allow people to
Hmm.
engage with each other, which is the great thing about LinkedIn. So I started
Right.
looking at LinkedIn as a potential place to network, and I developed a training program addressing these issues.
Right.
So people don't understand LinkedIn. People don't
Mm.
understand social media. Common users, um, and I sort of try to bridge the
Mm.
gap through my knowledge and through my working. I developed a training program, which was a
Amazing.
very like um, intense, but it was like only 3 hours training program for people to understand how
I
LinkedIn
love that.
profile works and how they could actually work on their profiles.
And
Now the
today, I
issue
think you
is,
will be kind of summarizing all of that for our viewers and give them those tidbits, tips from your
yes,
intense training program, and give them those tools and techniques and to learn um, uh, how to better use and utilize and optimize their LinkedIn profile. Right.
that's right.
So I think you did mention, Hamad, about some stats, and you shared them with me.
Yes,
I'm just trying to find a way in which I can quickly put it up on the screen as well.
sure.
There you go. I
Let's
have
go
it
with the
now with me.
first. Why should we be out there? First of all, that is the question.
Yeah.
Now you can see that there are, and this number is like few months ago I picked it up,
Hmm.
360 million users, LinkedIn users, and you can look at the level, C-level people are out there, chartered accountants, in engineers, business
Yeah.
people. And if I open it up in front of me, I'll probably be able to speak a little bit more about
Hmm.
uh, data.
Because there were quite a few other stats that you shared with me as well,
Right,
right? And I
right.
have those. You let me know whenever you want me to share
Sure,
those, the other
sure.
ones as well, with that go directly into speak to the demographics of LinkedIn. So by the way, for those of you who are just joining us right now, welcome. And we have Hamad in the house who's telling us the reasons why we should be using LinkedIn, and he's using a little bit of a more data centric approach over here to answer that particular question. So, Hamad, tell us a little bit more about
Right.
what we are seeing on the screen now.
So let's look at the data the data which is available in front of us, right? I know that the number has grown to another couple of million people, but
Hmm.
look at this particular data.
Yeah.
360 million users, 90 million senior level influencers, uh, 10 million C-level executives, uh, 6 million IT decision makers, 17 million opinion leaders, and 63 million decision makers.
Yeah.
Why these people who are out there on LinkedIn and doing their stuff? This is a question which we should ask. When we say, okay, we have a profile, but we really don't know where to go from here, we just created it. These
Eh,
people also have their profiles, but they're out there to help people, to
Hmm.
influence people's decision.
Right.
Uh, in my practice, what I've seen that there are three types of people, very broadly categorizing them. Category one, which we have the third stats also, which we can show later on, not now,
Hmm.
is the one that is looking for jobs. So they're out there and they have a profile and they're looking for a job. The second one is people who are out there, but they're not looking for jobs. So maybe
Right.
like fall within the category of influencers like you and me, who would like to help people out. And of course, the third category, which again, you and me, type of people who are out there to generate sales leads, to
Right.
generate business.
Exactly.
These are three like broader categories of people. Uh, and just to give you another data, which I
Hmm.
recently picked, there are 50 million company pages on Facebook. 50
Wow.
million. Look at the size. 50 million companies have their pages on LinkedIn.
On LinkedIn.
So, so, but the thing is that, if you're out there, even if we take this number, which is 630 million people,
Mm-hmm.
who on earth can find you? How would somebody find you? Right?
Right.
That's the question. And that is the biggest question when I started looking at LinkedIn,
Uh-huh.
I sort of tried to respond to. Is that,
Right.
you're out there, you're a chartered accountant or a business consultant or mind coach like yourself or LinkedIn optimizer, somebody like me, professional coaches and all that.
Yeah.
How would somebody find you and connect with you? Because it's a mess, it's too many people out there.
Yeah. You
So
have to have a strategy.
right, and you have to understand how LinkedIn works. So LinkedIn works. So for instance, I try to give this example that if you're looking for a cell phone, you want to buy a cell phone, you go and you Google.
Mm-hmm.
And when you Google, you try to read reviews. You try to connect with people who
Yeah.
already have the cell phone or that kind of cell phone. Or you post on your Facebook, I'm going to buy a cell phone, please advise
Mm-hmm.
me. It's like connecting with them, it's engaging with them, it's showing that you're looking for something very specific. So you have to be specific on LinkedIn also.
Hmm.
Is what are you looking at and what do you want to achieve out of your profile? So the
Which
goal setting is really important.
so that's the
But
preparation that you
once you
need to
have the
do.
goals, yeah,
That's the
yeah,
preparation that you need to do, and that's something I think you and I we extensively spoke about in
right,
our previous sessions. Right? Know your
yes,
goals, know what your strengths are, and now you're on the LinkedIn platform. So
right,
hopefully, when you are, the best way you can utilize it, and you know your goals, you know your audience, you know your own strengths, and now it's all about how do you leverage it. Right?
right. So treat that LinkedIn as a search engine. LinkedIn is a search engine.
Hmm. Okay.
People go there and search for something specific. So
Right.
if you are looking for a career coach, you can go and in the search bar type career coach.
Hmm.
And what LinkedIn would do would throw out the best possible results in front of you. Now, those best possible results are based on LinkedIn's own logarithm.
Mm-hmm.
LinkedIn's bot and the logarithm at the back end keeps working and keep tracking people and keep indexing these profiles
Right.
based on their relevance. So
Based
you
on the
have to be
relevance.
relevant.
Okay.
So for instance, if you are, I pick you on, pick you, I spot you, Umar. If you're
Yeah.
a mindset coach, right? But if you start posting stuff about your dog, maybe I went out with my dog and it's becoming very naughty and stuff. That could be an interesting information for some of the people who are already network in your network,
Yeah.
but it's not relevant to your profile. You have to speak only about your stuff, which is
Hmm.
mindset coach, career coach, and a trainer.
Yeah.
If you become irrelevant, you are going to confuse LinkedIn's logarithm.
Hmm.
So,
Understood.
so, and then how would somebody search you? Some people search you based on your keywords.
Hmm.
So LinkedIn, so the relevance with your keywords and with your content are the two very, very important components that people miss out completely upon.
So
So
relevance and keywords.
keywords, right? Now people say, how would I find those keywords? Now that's the work that we do on their behalf. You can look for free resources
Mm-hmm.
on on YouTube, on Google. You can do a lot of research on that, and maybe you land into finding the right keywords for your profile.
Yeah,
Maybe we
because
don't
I
know.
think
I mean, a lot of people do that, and
a lot of people are always thinking like, what are those keywords that I need to
right,
use, right?
right.
So, what are some of the tools that they can use?
So, I mean, the way I see it is
Mm-hmm.
you need to understand exactly what industry you are in. So, for
Okay,
instance,
let's take it. Yeah.
I'll just mention, one of my client I've been working with last week is a supply chain expert.
Okay,
But
that's a
within
great example. Yeah.
supply chain, I mean, people would think it's a very straightforward keyword, supply chain expert. But within supply chain, there are further derivatives.
Okay.
So somebody could be a fulfillment expert, somebody could be a
Uh,
warehouse expert, somebody could be a supply chain expert, doing logistics work purely,
yeah.
maybe airline logistics or whatever.
Hmm.
So again, understanding exactly what the client needs or what your broader keyword is, and then what the derivatives of that keyword uh, you need to use. So all this is, so it's becoming complex as I go on, and
And that's fine.
that's where a lot of people get confused, and instead of looking at or putting in the keywords that are searchable on LinkedIn, they
Hmm.
just what they desire as keywords.
So don't look
So
at what
this,
you desire. Think of it from more of your audience's perspective of what
right,
they would be searching,
right,
and use those as your keywords. And as you said,
right,
you if you're Ahmad gave a great example about the supply chain expert, right? And within the supply chain, think of where do you fit in within the supply chain, because supply chain is so broad. Where do you fit in? Are you a procurement specialist? Are you a fulfillment specialist? Are you a are you a logistic warehouse person? Where do you fit in? So is there what tool, and is Hamad, is that something that you work with people and you train them on, or is there a tool on Google or somewhere else that they can use to extract what keywords fit for them, something that's a little bit more tailored? Because I think the one thing that people struggle with is, how do I know that what keyword is right for me?
so so the tools are out there. One of the tool is your Google search. You just go and
Okay.
Google and see
And what
what
exactly
what are
what should we Google? Like what should we
like
type in Google?
so Google, for instance, if somebody Googles
Mm-hmm.
keywords around supply chain,
Ah,
you'll find other keywords also that might be relevant for you.
great.
But the way we work with our clients is that our once somebody has like booked our service, the first thing is a goal setting call with the client.
Hmm.
And in 99.9% cases, what I have found out, even the most educated and experienced clients are confused
Yeah.
as to, because somebody, I mean, I'm working with a client who is a seasoned banker in technology space based out of Qatar, uh, and is still struggling to find um, what he does. I mean, he's a vice president level person, and he's
Yeah.
very senior, very very experienced. But often we end up doing multiple things, and we can't really put in multiple things. So the goal setting is a process that actually helps you identify what kind of expertise you have,
Mm-hmm.
and where do you want to go, or what do you want to target through your LinkedIn
Right.
profile.
Right.
So those who are really interested in like experimenting with it, Google search could be one of the way to do it.
Okay. So that's the
If they
easiest
come
way
to a
to get
professional like
started.
me, if they come to a professional like me, I have of course identified some more tools which are more complex, and some of those are paid tools. So
Got it.
if you are interested in paying $1,000 a year, kind of a thing, just for 5 keywords, and I'll be happy to respond to you and to other people in separate chat box. But it does not really work, because you may just be
Yeah.
needing it for one time. Um, Umar, just wait here. Now we have like 14, 15 people
I know.
watching.
That's great.
Can we simply, quickly, very, very quickly introduce people
Yeah, I
here, and
think
then we move on to our next question?
absolutely.
We have identified, or we have responded to one question, which is like,
Yeah.
you know, what do we do with your keywords?
What do we, so I think that was a great starting point to understand how to use LinkedIn, and use it from a search perspective. It's a place where people come, recruiters come in, other sales generators, business people, they come in to generate leads, and they search. So use it as a search platform and use those keywords, understand the algorithm to see how can you pop up in the top when people search for certain keywords, and that's where the relevance and the keywords become so important. We have Usman Sethi with us, who says he has recently moved to Toronto, in fact just this week, from Houston. Welcome to Toronto. And he's a business development professional looking to move from oil and gas. He's been working in oil and gas, I'm guessing, and into other industries. That's great. Welcome, and thank you so much for joining us today, Usman. Pleasure to have you. Do share with us what exactly you are looking for, Usman, from this particular session. And if you have any questions, specific questions, Hamad will be more than happy to answer that for you. Hamad, we also have Munib in the house, who's a business analyst in Toronto. Welcome, Munib. Thank you so much for being here and for listening to us. And do share with us what exactly you are looking for. And if you have any specific questions, we will be addressing those questions in the last 15 minutes of today's webinar. We have a few more people. We have Abdur Rauf, who has a question, which Abdur Rauf, we will be addressing that question towards the end. Thank you so much for already posting your questions. So if you guys are posting questions, amazing, awesome. Please keep doing that. We will be addressing all your questions towards the end. All right. So,
and one more request from our viewers, if you could push share button onto this live broadcast, just share it with
yes.
your network on Facebook, on LinkedIn, wherever you are, where you are more popular. Just click that button, and that button will there will be another dialog box appearing, which will guide you where you can post it. So maybe it will benefit other people through
Yes.
our effort, through your effort. So you are contributing into the great cause also. Thank you very much.
That's
Yes,
amazing.
Subbu.
Thank you so much. Yes, guys, please do share if you can. That would be amazing. So, all right, let's move on to another question that I think I have, right? People talk about LinkedIn optimization, and it's a word that a lot of people we hear, but a lot of people don't understand. What do you even mean when you use the word optimization of a
That's
LinkedIn
right.
profile? So, tell us, what does LinkedIn
Right.
optimization even mean, and how should one approach optimizing their LinkedIn profile?
Right. So, I mean, look at the word optimization itself. What does it mean? It means
Hmm.
getting the best out of it, right? And how do you get best out of it? So think about it. If you have a car, and you you want to optimize the efficiency of that car, which means that you need to get it cleaned, you have to get it fine-tuned or tuned, you have to put in the right kind of tires, you need to put in the right kind of fuel. If
Hmm.
you're if you are really into racing and stuff,
Yeah.
you have to put in the higher grade fuel. If you're okay in driving on 401, then you just put in the regular fuel there. So you uh, how much effort you add in to utilize the features that are provided
Yeah.
by LinkedIn is uh, is what falls within the category of optimization.
Right.
So a lot of people have what I call their LinkedIn profile,
Hmm.
but created that LinkedIn profile because other people wanted them to
Yeah.
be out there, or they saw somebody else to be out there, and they would expect LinkedIn to help them, be it finding a job or generating sales leads, or
Yeah.
becoming an influencer. It does not does not really happen uh, that way. Um, so for those who are out there, there are 17 people watching already. Uh, you need to look at four key factors when you are optimizing your LinkedIn profile. Four key factors,
Four key
and
factors.
there
All
are
right.
other smaller pieces that one needs to look at also.
Okay.
But I know, even those who come to my coaching sessions, they struggle later on,
Hmm.
because then again, it's the how do you do it professionally? You learn
Yeah.
it, but doing it professionally is
Exactly.
something different. So people have what we call is a green or a blue screen at the back of their display picture, which is called the background banner. I call it the
Background
background
banner.
banner.
Okay.
A lot of people just don't put anything there. They don't even know that you can add something there, or they put something which does not mean anything. I've
Hmm.
seen people putting in pictures of CN Tower, for instance. I mean, what
Hmm.
does it mean? You should use that as a hook as a billboard to your profile. Think about it. You land
I
on
love
a
that.
profile, or
Yeah.
somebody lands on your profile. Uh, your backdrop banner is the biggest space they see on the screen, and either it's empty or it's irrelevant. And the attention time span we have is like 6 seconds.
Right.
If we don't grab their attention within those 6 seconds, they will be gone. So a
Right.
lost potential visitor. Now you can either use somebody else's image, so you download an image, you fix that image and put it out there, but
Mm-hmm.
that's not your image.
Yeah.
You do not have the sort of proprietary right to use it, which means that you're telling um, LinkedIn that sort of allow me to use the word plagiarism.
Plagiarism.
As,
Okay.
as soon
Yeah.
as as soon as the logarithm hits that kind of a thing, your profile is downgraded.
Hmm.
So how original your backdrop banner is important. So when I work with a client, I actually create those banners. I actually
Oh, you
work with
create
them,
them. Amazing.
create them, tagline, and I create them. Um, Maybe I don't know. I can't really share something from here because I'm using my cell phone. Otherwise, I could have shared um, maybe just one banner, or maybe if I share
Let me
something
see
with
if I
you.
can quickly share something, right?
Yeah. So
Should
I'll
I go to
just
your profile, Hamad, just to give our viewers an example? Is your
yeah.
profile, or do you know the name of a person who you can think of? I can quickly search them up and bring them up.
I can. I'm just sharing a banner that we just created actually.
So, for example,
So
I like your banner, right? I think your banner is pretty
you can
catchy.
highlight mine. You
Yeah.
can highlight
Let
mine,
me let
but
me sh- let me share that with the viewers. Give me one
yeah,
second. Stop screen. Share screen. There you go. So there we have it. We have Hamad's profile, LinkedIn profile right there. And right there at the banner, you guys can see his motto, what he's all about, what are his goals,
yeah,
what value. Remember, we spoke about value in our previous session. What value is he going to add to you, to your business, to your career? And he says his job, he's a value add from a I will optimize your LinkedIn to expand your network, to target recruiters, to build your brand, and to generate more sales lead. And that's so simple. And that's such a pretty easy on the eye graphic. And I love the way you say it. That's your billboard, right? Treat it as your billboard. When you land on it, this is the value that you're providing to the viewer. And that's amazing. I love that.
yeah.
So
So this is created. This is very targeted
hmm,
to my visitors. Whoever
right.
comes in, that person would know exactly what I do. My image is irrelevant at this stage, and my keywords are also irrelevant to some
Hmm,
extent because somebody has landed
yeah,
actually searching my keywords on my profile or through my engagement on using my content.
yeah.
But once they land here, this is the biggest space one can see. And Umar, if you can pull up the image which I just emailed you, if you can do that, that's fine.
Yes,
Otherwise,
I can. Which one do you, the poll or the
no, no.
uh
Just I just sent you another email.
okay. All right, let me just pull it up. Mm,
I just wanted to share with clients, with viewers, what do I mean by creativity? Why taglines are important, why that
mhm.
creativity is important. So if you can just do that,
I found
we'll
it. Yeah,
just
I'm just sharing it now. So here we go. Here we have it.
all right.
Ensuring effective supply chains locally and globally.
Right. So what you are seeing here is a backdrop from a client. He's a supply chain expert, and this is like created from scratch.
Mm-hmm.
The tagline is created from scratch. The whole color scheme created from scratch. the color scheme that you see, it reflects chains, right?
Hmm.
Uh, and so if somebody lands on the profile, would immediately know what that person is doing, what
Yeah.
that profile is
And
all
I
about,
love that. That's so catchy and so easy. And I think,
right?
it kind of portrays your value add in one simple, in a one in one blink of an eye. Right? You just see it, and you know what this person is all about. I love that.
Right. So, so this is how important the creativity part of the whole thing is.
Hmm.
You can just simply use so creative, and your ownership
Yeah.
of that image is really important.
So that's one of the. I think it's important for our viewers to also know at the same time that this banner, the LinkedIn banner, the way they're using it is not going to help them from an optimization, not just optimize, but from the keyword search perspective. Whatever keywords you use in the image are not going to be used in the search algorithm of the LinkedIn. Is that correct, Hamad?
So no, the banner actually helps the way. So we are looking at the holistically, how
Mm-hmm.
the optimization works.
Yeah.
So you have the right keywords, somebody
Mm-hmm.
lands on your profile,
Yeah.
and now you have you know you have to see how the profile looks. So the
Right.
immediate impact of your profile is somebody. It's just people, as I said, 6 second time attention time
Exactly.
span. People is scared somehow. They're scared to scroll down to see
Yeah.
exactly what the person is. And LinkedIn has provided us a free space out there to build to put up our billboard.
Yeah.
And if we don't use it, we lose on
Yeah,
things.
we
So
lose our
that's
client,
that's
and then they
how
will move on to some
yeah
other
that's
profile.
how it is important to have a,
The
a
banner.
proper tagline, a banner that reflects your personality, your profile.
Right.
And then comes your about section. A lot of people, what they
Okay.
do, just simply cut and paste their resume.
Mm.
Whereas about section has to speak about your passion, about your experience, what what why are you so good about it? It should be a story rather than just very boring vanilla flavored cut and paste from your CV.
Yeah.
The other thing what I noticed is that people, because they're not really paying much attention to it, uh, uh, they miss out on uh, kind of optimizing it to 2000 characters. So
Mm.
LinkedIn provides you a space for 2000 characters, which is a huge space. It's a
Yeah.
large space to kind of put up your story out there. Um, Creating that story is a challenge for a lot of people because they're not used to of writing stories, right? And
Mm.
that's where our role comes in as LinkedIn optimizer. We actually create that story around your experience, and they pick your brains on interesting aspects of your story. And what I see is that accountants and chart accountants are the most boring people as far as industry is concerned. I
Apologies
mean,
to
they
any
are just
started
too much
accountant
into their
people.
audits and risk management and SOX compliance and all that. But they hardly could come up about something like really interesting and exciting.
Hmm.
Um, and a lot of my clients are in that uh, in the accountancy profession. So for writing their profile is always challenging.
Yeah.
When you ask them, okay, did you do anything exciting? They would fail to respond. and
It's like,
and
yeah,
then
I assessed the risk for the bank in 2021. Then
yeah,
that's not always that interesting. But I
right.
think everybody, storytelling is such a huge part of us as human beings, the way we have evolved as human beings. We have all evolved by telling stories. And, we somehow, as we grow older, we kind of lose touch with that storytelling aspect, which is kind of sad and unfortunate. But don't let go of that, right? We have experts in the house like yourself who and myself who will help you craft your story after we understand who you really are, what your purpose is, what are your goals, and you share with us some interesting projects where you immersed as a superhero. I always talk about the hero's journey as a great storytelling framework. I don't know, Hamad, what storytelling framework you use, but the hero's journey is one that I always use with all my clients to craft their story, whether it's for their about section or whether it's for their cover letter or something. It really showcases that heroism, the heroicness in what they have accomplished in their lives, that can be really interesting from an audience's perspective.
Absolutely. And it should connect. Uh, and what people also don't realize is that when you scroll on a profile,
Mm-hmm.
LinkedIn shows approximately 2.25 first 2.25 lines of your profile to
Hmm.
anyone, and that
Okay.
said, collect. You have to click to read more. Uh, if again your profile, your first 2.5 lines are not engaging enough, you lose that one potential
Right.
content.
So you have to be very specific and catchy in your first two and a half lines to
That's
make
right.
make the user click on the read more. And
Click
again,
on
I
the
just
link.
want to reiterate to the listeners who are with us, what we are really providing you with are those key tools and tips on what goes in behind the scenes, from an optimization of your LinkedIn. Now, you may not, we are telling you the what of it, how to do it, the hows are something that you may or you may not be an expert at. For example, creating a banner, you may not be an expert, but you have Hamad. You can reach out to Hamad to learn more about how to create that banner, or ask him to create that banner. You can ask him to create that story of yourself in the about section, right, Hamad? So other than the banner, and now we have spoken about the about section, what are the other few, you said there are two other key drivers for the
Well,
optimization
just
that people.
one
One
more
more.
key driver. We
Yeah.
had keywords, banner,
Banner.
and about, and the fourth one is your content strategy.
Hmm.
What do you
Okay.
post? How do you post it? How engaging that content is? At the end of the day, so for instance, if you have like 1,000 direct connections, maybe LinkedIn provides you an opportunity to connect with millions more, right?
Hmm.
Using,
Right.
but you have to be relevant. You need to know the trick. You need to be very targeted, and your content has to be targeted also. So for instance, if you read an article and you share that article, there is always an option there. You can share it on your LinkedIn profile. It is good, but it does not increases the value of your LinkedIn profile in front of the algorithm. It is you're sharing somebody else's content. But
Hmm.
if you know how to curate content and repurpose it, uh, for your audience, and how do you use hashtags to engage wider audience, and how do you
Yeah.
tag people, and how many people you should tag. Uh, these are some of the things that, of course, a lot of effort and time needs to be put into
Yeah.
to understand all that. And
It's
that's
not
when I
something
work
that's
with
going to
my
happen
clients.
in just a day or two, right? I
Right,
think that's important to stress over here
right.
for our users,
Yeah. So when I
that
work
these.
with my clients, I actually create what I call as a content strategy for them,
Hmm.
based on their profile, based on their target and goals they want to achieve out of it.
Right.
Uh, so if we follow the content strategy, or if we have some kind of a content strategy, we'll start connecting with more and more people.
Right.
So for instance,
Absolutely.
my posts go out, my average post is about 3 to 4 thousand views.
Wow. That's amazing.
Uh, and that's like an average. And some posts go up to 50,000 views or more. Um, and that's what we call engagement.
Right.
And
Yeah.
if you're out there and if you're not being seen, people are not looking at your profile or your posts, and they're not connecting with you, there is something wrong
Yeah.
that
Absolutely.
you can fix it. Uh, and that's where again, people like I come in, and Umar, if you're a storytelling kind of a person. Uh, so four key factors. First one is your keywords. Of course, you
Right.
have to set your goals first before you actually move on
Yeah,
to
and
the
that's something that we
yes,
spoke a lot about in our previous webinar. In case you missed it, you can definitely check out the recordings on the YouTube channel, on my YouTube channel. You will see the webinar recordings. We
yes,
first session was all about self-awareness. The second one was all about networking, and now we're talking now that you have done the preparation,
Yeah.
now how to do the LinkedIn.
And goal setting has always been in the forefront of our discussion
Yeah.
throughout. So goal setting, and you do the keywords, you place in the keywords. Um, just to give you one example, which I picked up this morning only, one of the potential clients, is still
Hmm.
negotiating with me. He shared his profile. So there were problems in his profile, which I told him. He said, no, but I have good keywords. I said, yes, you have good keywords, but you have not placed these keywords the way you should place those keywords.
Right.
Uh, and of course, if I start telling him, what is this the strategy of placing keywords, that means that I'm going to lose my business. So that's where I come in as an expert. It's like you
Right.
go to a dental surgeon, and that dental surgeon says you have an infection in your teeth. Okay, what do I do? You take an antibiotic. Okay, what kind of an antibiotic? And he prescribes it and he charges you a fee.
Yeah.
Right? This is how it works.
Yeah.
Uh,
It's
so uh, Going forward, these are the things that you need to do. Content strategy is last, but perhaps the most interesting and most exciting part of this whole
yeah.
process, because all that, your banner, your keywords, your about is just one time doing. Once
Yeah.
you have done it, it's out there.
The
But
content is more
content
of a
is
repeatable.
daily thing. You have to do
Yeah.
it every day.
And I think it was in your post, Hamad. I picked up on this. I think a few weeks ago, you asked a question to your audience, and you said, "How often do you post on LinkedIn?" And a lot of people said maybe once a month or something.
Yeah.
Once
Can
in
you
two
pull up
months or
that that
something.
that date that
I
statistic?
can't. I couldn't find it. I don't
Okay.
know why,
So the
but
last the
because I
last
do
poll that
also want to get into the questions of the users, of our
yeah,
viewers.
can you pull up the last one, the poll that I shared with you, just to show our
The job seekers one.
yeah,
What's
the
your
last one.
goal?
Yes.
What is your goal on LinkedIn? Sure. Let
Yes.
me just pull that up. Here you go. Uh, there you go. Can you see it? Yeah.
It's coming up.
It's coming up. It's not showing right now for some reason.
Yeah, it's out there now. It's there.
Is there?
It came for a while.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it's
There
there
you
now.
go.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I ran this poll, and Uma, can you remove uh, the, the the code that you had about the drivers?
Um, the thing is, yeah, let me just
Okay.
do that. There you go.
Yeah, that's fine now.
Thank you.
So if you see this is how it is. Uh, 73% people are out there to search for a job, and only 13% people, they post once in a week.
Hmm.
So if you don't post, your profile is near dormant. I call it near
Yeah.
dormant or maybe dormant, which
Mm-hmm.
means that LinkedIn will say, okay, this is just a profile, but they're not doing anything. Push them at the bottom of the index.
I see.
So if you're not active and if you're not relevantly active,
Mm-hmm.
then you don't appear,
Got it.
right? So this is exactly what I wanted to share
And I
with
think that's
people.
so important from what you shared with us earlier as well, right? That about the content strategy, you have to make sure you're posting relevant material, relevant content, that's catered to you, to your needs, to your audience's needs, and posting it every single day so that you don't fall at the bottom of the LinkedIn search pile. You're somewhere at the top. So I think that's really really important, and a key piece that include I myself sometimes I forget to do. I'll be very honest about that, and it's something I have to do very consciously now. So thank you for sharing those four key drivers. I think this will be a good time for us to take. There are a lot of questions, a great
Yes.
engagement.
Let's
So
stretch
I
the
think we
questions
should
because we
start
have
taking
about 10
on
minutes.
some questions from
Yes,
our
please.
participants who've been here. So I'm gonna scroll from the top. I have. Um, this question: what are the key things to optimize? There you go. So I think Abdul Rauf, Hamad has already spoken about, given the answer to this particular question. about what are the key things to optimize in your LinkedIn, and he spoke about those four key drivers, right? He spoke about keywords, he spoke about your banner, which is used as a billboard. He spoke about your about section, which is your story. And last but definitely not the least, keep posting relevant content every single day on your LinkedIn to remain relevant within LinkedIn's algorithm. So hopefully that answers your question, Abdul Rauf. And let me find out another question that we have. We have another one over here from Hashmi, who's asking, please advise, is it right? Keywords in 5 related job descriptions will give you an idea what keywords are important in your job and should be in your profile.
That is a trick people use, and you can experiment with that. And at the end of the day, you have to really focus on your goals. So,
Hmm.
somebody else's job post is not your goal. Think
Right.
about it. You may
Okay.
be able to find those keywords there, but you can experiment with that. And for this exactly, I use some paid tools to
Hmm.
identify those keywords.
What are those
Uh,
keywords?
yeah, but
And yeah, if you want to
it's one
do
of the
this,
ways of doing it. Uh,
absolutely. And so the other thing, I think Hashmi answered the question in a way like LinkedIn optimization tool is available on JobScan website, but it is a
yes,
paid tool,
it's a
right?
paid
Yeah,
tool.
and it's true. The keywords, a lot of these things, there are tools available. They are paid tools, right? They are paid tools such as JobScan. But one thing that Hamad spoke about is, the only free tool that we all have is the Google search keywords, right? You can use the Google search keywords to look for those keywords for yourself if you are at that point in your career or in your life where you are not yet ready to pay to learn more about the keywords that you need to use.
And
So,
more so, Omar, the thing is that JobScan and other such similar sites and myself, we are all in a business. I
hmm,
mean, you are in a training
yeah,
business, right? We are in business, and we have learned this over the period of time. We spent our time, and we have gained those expertise, like a doctor or an engineer, right?
exactly.
Or an
Subject matter
accountant,
expertise. Yeah.
right? So when we provide that expertise, it actually, if you do the cost benefit analysis, you save a lot of time,
Yeah.
and you're not like firing in a space, right? You're
Huh,
targeting something, you're doing it quickly, right?
exactly.
So, and because of our experience, we can even coach you, or set your directions.
Yeah.
So that's why. So if any online tool is good. I won't say it's not good. People use it.
Mm-hmm.
JobScan makes
Yeah.
tons of money of it. Uh, but how effective that would be depends on your own skills. That's
Hmm.
really important.
Yeah, that's
There is
so well
another
said.
question from Hasnan Atta. If you
There's
see,
what.
from Lahore, he's asking about
Oh, sorry, did I
B2B
miss
sales
a
lead
question?
generation.
Yeah, sorry, I apologize. I missed one question earlier. Hossein Atta, would like to know optimum ways to use LinkedIn for B2B leads. There you go.
All right.
And we'll get back
So,
to Zishan Safdar's question
right.
next.
Okay. So, I generate all my sales leads 100%
Mm-hmm.
using my LinkedIn profile.
Mm.
And I have not subscribed to a premium account. I mean, it's just usual free account that I have, but I've optimized it to a level whereby
Mm-hmm.
all my sales leads are being generated through my LinkedIn profile. So yes, you can generate B2B leads, but at the same time, LinkedIn provides a paid tool which calls Sales Lead Navigator. If you subscribe to that, that's
Mm-hmm.
an expensive tool still. You'll have to learn that tool also. So
Yeah.
subscribe, pay a lot of money in
And
US
then learn
dollars,
it.
and then learn it. If you have it and you don't know how to use it, it won't help you. And
Yeah.
there is a question I saw
So basically, even
down
for Hussein, I
also.
think the it goes back to the way we answer the question is just, it just goes back to those four key drivers. you
Yes.
make sure your LinkedIn is fully optimized using those four key things that we spoke about. And that will help you generate those B2B sales leads, just like how it's helping you, Hamad, generate all your 100% of all your leads from LinkedIn. So, and I
And
think
an
that
interesting
kind,
question from Zishan Safzar.
would you pay for LinkedIn Premium, right? And I think
Right.
that's actually a question I've wondered as well sometimes. Like, is there really value in paying for LinkedIn Premium? So, what do you have to say for to that, Hamad?
Right. A lot of value provided you know what you're looking for.
Yeah.
How do you want to use it? So the way I sort of tell my clients, if you already have a LinkedIn premium, you're paying something like $35 a month,
Hmm.
or if you have a
Hmm.
package, you're paying something like $300, $320 a year towards your premium subscription. It's like renting a shop in a very expensive mall
Hmm.
and don't put anything in it to sell.
I love that. I love that
So
analogy.
if you have a very expensive shop in an expensive mall and you don't have anything to sell, nobody will come and pop in, right?
Exactly. Maybe if you're not even showing up yourself to the shop
Right.
and
Okay.
working there, then
Very usual with your LinkedIn profile also. So,
exactly.
so if you have a profile which is not optimized, just by paying for LinkedIn Premium will never help you. Take
Right.
my words, period,
Yeah.
full stop. It will never help you.
Hmm.
Your LinkedIn premium helps you connect with people mostly through email,
Hmm.
and that's one of the advantage of having it.
Right. The
Okay,
in-mail feature.
you're right. So you can reach out to people because otherwise, LinkedIn provides you a very limited access to
Right.
free emails to people that are not in your network.
Right. So the answer to that question is basically it's useful, but you should know what your goals are again. You know why,
Yes,
and you need to use it in the right way to really gain value out of it. So
optimize your profile
yeah,
first. Fix
that's
your
the first
profile
step.
first before investing anything into your link. Because you think
Very
about
fair.
it.
Very
Uh,
fair.
so I charge 280 US dollars for LinkedIn profile optimization.
Hmm.
Just trying to give you a comparison. LinkedIn Premium is about whatever $350 a year, right?
Hmm.
You pay $350, you don't get anything out of it.
Right.
Okay, you get your profile fixed first, and so once your profile is optimized, once LinkedIn algorithm is kind of learning about your profile and kind of pushing your profile up in search, if you pay or if you subscribe to premium at that time, then it will benefit you.
Right.
Very, very simple.
Absolutely. Very simple like that. That's I love that. I really do. Abdur Rauf is also asking, what about the headline? We spoke about the keywords, we spoke about the banner, we spoke about and your content strategy. He's asking, what about the headline though?
What about headline? Your headline is where your keywords go.
Ah, head. So your headline is where your keywords are going. So that's space. Let me just show it to our viewers in case they're
This is
wondering.
underneath your display picture.
Right. I'm just going to show it over here. So over here for Hamad, as you can see, his keywords are co-founder, LinkedIn optimization expert, LinkedIn coach, job search coach, CIPE, international development consultant, and gender expert. Right. So those are some of the keywords that he's using for his headline. So that's where the headline falls in. So hopefully that answers Abdur Rauf's question. And thank you for bringing that up. In case that was not clear from earlier, I'm glad you brought it up. Thank you. Um, thank you, Abdur Rauf. There was one more question that I think I saw. They come on your LinkedIn. Um,
There's a question from Ibtisam Ansari.
did I
What type
miss?
of
Yeah,
banner we should use in a profile?
there you
Give
go.
an
Yeah,
example.
there you go. What type of
So
banner
every
we should
profile
use
is
in our
different.
profile? Yeah.
The way I created, I first work with my client to create a tagline. As I said, Ibtisam, you treat it as a billboard. You drive on a road and you see those billboards, um, and you're driving quite fast. So you're driving at least 40, 50 kilometers an hour. Some of the billboards you will get hooked with. The content on that billboard, the color scheme, and everything. Just treat this as your billboard. I mean, this is the best thing I can say. Have a tagline, explain what you are, uh, and just show off. I mean, this
Yeah.
is all I can say.
And
But
here and
for me, every client is different. Every billboard is different.
yeah,
I can't really say. I mean, it's creative work, right? It's the
absolutely.
words that you use. It's the color scheme. It's everything. So when I work with companies, so companies
Hmm.
have usually their branding. So
Yeah.
the color scheme has to come from their branding scheme, right? But individuals can be different.
I couldn't agree more. And I think I think Ibtisam Ansari was also asking for an example. And here's an example. You can see on Hamad's profile itself, right? There is that banner. We spoke about it earlier. It clearly articulates the value, right? The value that Hamad brings to the table. And similarly, when you're thinking of your banner, think of what exactly is the value that you are bringing to the table. So these were, I think, all the questions. I think we have addressed all the questions, and we are at the 1 hour mark already for our webinar. This was so engaging. I love the fact that there were so many people, listening to us today, and they were, engaging, talking about themselves, sharing their experiences, and asking questions and being engaged. Thank you so much, each and every one of you who participated in today's session with us. You guys are the ones who really make this webinar really exciting and engaging, not just for Hamad and I, but also for other members who are watching. So your questions are really important, your engagement is really important. So thank you so much for investing 1 hour of your time into your own personal development, into your own career development. We really appreciate it. If you can, please do share this particular webinar, which will be posted in the next few minutes, in fact, on my YouTube channel. Please share it with your network, on your Facebook groups, in your Facebook, on your LinkedIn, so that more people can learn about the four key drivers of how to optimize their LinkedIn from Hamad and myself. So, Hamad, thank you so much for your time. Once again, it has been a pleasure. And for those of you who are still here with us, join us for another session next week where we're going to take another deep dive into learning more about the growth mindset. So what that is the last webinar that we will be doing on in this webinar series of building successful career strategies. Growth mindset is a very important and key tool for success, where you can actually leverage your own strengths and identify your weaknesses and create a strategy to build on it and do better in your life and in your goals. So do join us next week, same time, Saturday, 11 a.m. Eastern Time. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much, Hamad.
Thank you, Umar. Have a wonderful day. It's
You
pretty
too.
warm outside again, so stay inside
I'll
in the
try
air
to.
conditioning. And thank you, everyone, for joining us. And please do join us, as Umar said, next week. Share these sessions that we had, last three sessions, with your connections and
Yeah.
contacts. And these sessions are out there for all of you to learn and to develop yourself into more successful people. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you. And we have shared our LinkedIn as well over here for you guys. Take care. See you next week.